On today's video, why is Knetters Practical Outdoors listed in the credits of the new Orlando Bloom movie, Red Right Hand? Hey there, outdoor YouTubers. Well, first things first, okay? The channel just recently surpassed 100,000 subscribers. All right, got the little YouTube plaque back there. And I just want to thank all my subscribers. I am very humbled to have gotten to this point. So I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. And if you haven't subscribed yet, it's free. Give it a try. Now, for anybody that's been following the channel for a while, you know that here at Knetters Practical Outdoors, we do a lot of deer processing videos. We have videos from start to finish, from gutting, skinning, processing, all the way through to making burger and sausage. And if you're interested in any of those videos, I'll leave a link below in the description of this video that'll bring you to a whole deer processing playlist. Okay, so about 2.5 years ago, I get contacted by a person claiming to be a movie producer, and she was watching one of my deer skinning videos, and she was interested in using part of that video in an upcoming movie that they were filming. So I looked up this person online, and yes, a person with that name is indeed a movie producer and an actress. And I watched some of the stuff she was in, and I watched some interviews she did. And okay, well, if I'm being scammed, they actually picked a name of an actual person that is a movie producer. Okay, so I got a phone number from her via email. And I thought, well, I guess it doesn't hurt to call. We'll see how this person's going to try and scam me, right? So I call the number, and she picks up, and it certainly sounds like the voice of the person that was in some of these shows and movies that I watched of her, and some of the interviews that she did. I'm like, well, this is a pretty good scammer. This scammer is even doing some voice acting here. So I get to talking to her, and a few things come out that, you know, okay, yeah, I looked some stuff up online and that kind of checks out. And so she starts explaining to me what the deal is. She's like, yeah, we're down here in Kentucky. We are filming this Orlando Bloom movie, and there's a certain section of the movie where one of the main characters is trying to learn how to skin a deer. And this is a young lady that's in the movie, and she's going to be looking at a device. I wasn't told if it would be like an iPad or a phone. She's going to be watching on her device, looking at a video on how to skin a deer, and that's where I came in. They wanted to show sections of a video that I did on her device in the movie. I was still a little skeptical. Of course, I had some questions about, you know, what kind of context is this going to be used in? And she assured me, no, this is, the reason you made the video is exactly the reason why this person is going to be watching it in the movie. Okay, I just wanted to make sure this wasn't going to be used in some kind of, PETA film or something, right? So she assured me it was going to be nothing like that, and she wanted to use a couple minutes of a deer skinning video I did like 8 years ago. So all I really had to do was get a clip of the original video and send it out to her, and you know, she's like, yeah, you'll be in the credits. And you know, she's like, I don't know what kind of fee you need for something like that. And I was like, well, I don't really get approached a whole lot about having clips of my videos in movies with Orlando Bloom. So I really don't know what the going rate was for that. So she suggested something, and I was more than happy to do it for that price. So I sent him the clip, got paid. I was like, wow, this is pretty awesome. And a couple days later, I get an email from her. She's like, hey, please call me. I got a question for you. I was like, okay, no problem. So I call her back up, and she's like, hey, would you be able to get all those same clothes on that you had in that video clip, and could you say a line? I was like, well, absolutely I can do that, right? So she sends me a section of the script with this line, this kind of a one sentence line that they wanted me to say with all those same clothes on. Now, of course, she realized that the deer was long gone, right? The deer was from years ago, so I would have to do this this one line in a slightly different setting, but something that would match up with the original video. So yeah, I agreed to do that. And I started thinking, man, I don't know where that blue fleece that I was wearing in that video, I didn't know where it was. And it was early spring, like there was still a lot of snow on the ground. And I was like, man, I haven't seen that in a while. That might be out at the deer camp. And I was getting kind of nervous that I may have to snowshoe into the deer camp to get this blue fleece that I was wearing, so it would kind of look like the old video. And luckily, it wasn't at the camp. I was able to find it, but it was in storage. It was almost on its way out, maybe to go to a thrift store or something. So I was fortunate I still had that. I still had the orange hat. Of course, I still had the smock, that we used to cut the deer up with. So I got all that stuff on. I had to trim my beard up a little bit to get it to look like the original video. And I said the line several times to give them a few different versions of it, sent them to them, and they were really happy. And she's telling me, oh yeah, the directors are real happy with that. This is awesome. Thank you so much for everything you've done. It's like, hey, thank you. This is awesome. So maybe right here, I'll show you some of the clips from that original video, and I'll also show you one of the clips that I sent her with the line that they gave me. And today I'm going to skin out this deer. This deer is a 3-pointer. And, I was thinking, leading up to doing this, how, it would really be pretty cool maybe if I had like a nice 8-pointer for this demonstration. But the truth of the matter is, whether it's a 3-pointer or an 8-pointer, the skin's kind of all in the same places, they kind of skin out the same. And then, I didn't shoot a nice 8-pointer, so, so that's why we're using the 3-pointer. Yeah, so we'll start working the hide back here and try to keep the hair floating around to a minimum. My brother-in-law Milton, he used to be allergic to deer hair. He would come up from Green Bay and he'd hunt out at the camp with us. And, every time he got a deer, then I had to gut it, because he's my brother-in-law and he can't gut him himself because he's all allergic to them. And, and which was fine. I was happy to help him out. But then a few of the guys were at the camp were saying how, hey, did you ever look at Milton's Facebook page? He always posts pictures of himself with the deer he shoots up here. And I hadn't really looked at it, but, I got to looking at it, and he's got all these pictures of him, he's like holding the deer antlers and hugging them, and so I kind of got the impression he was just pulling a fast one on me, to kind of con me into gutting the deer for him. So last year when he came up, I had some really good news for him. I said, hey, Milton, it's a miracle. I declare you cured of your allergic reaction to deer hair. So you get a deer this year, you can gut it yourself. I've been looking at your Facebook pictures. And, he seemed kind of upset about it. And I don't know, whatever. But he did get a deer that year. And I made him gut it, and he was fine. He was perfectly fine, after we injected him with his EpiPen and the swelling went down. He was fine. Charlie Hill here. and today I'm going to show you how to skin and how to home butcher a deer. Pretty crazy, right? Yeah. So when this was all going on, she did tell me that it might be a year or two before the movie would be released. So, okay, so it's going to be a long time to wait before this comes out, right? So in the meantime, I'm gearing up, to get some stuff ready for my channel for when the movie comes out. And, like not last year's season, but the deer season before, I shot a pretty nice buck. And I thought, well, there's a good opportunity to kind of tie in, deer processing, deer skinning, kind of have that prop of this nice buck and kind of talk about this movie that I'm going to be in. So I did do like a little videotaping, and I put together a little video with anticipation of the movie coming out, and I'll show you that right here. Hey guys, well, if you follow the channel at all, you probably already know that sometimes in our videos we like to do a little bit of deer processing. Well, there's a movie out right now. It's called Red Right Hand, and if you get a chance to watch it and you pay real close attention, you just might see a familiar face processing up a deer in that movie. So now you fast forward to this past spring, and I see online that the movie is going to be released. Okay, so I'm really excited. We're talking about having these watch parties, and like 2 weeks before the movie comes out, I get contacted by this producer, and she lets me know that for time constraints that my scene had been cut from the movie. It was like, ugh. I was kind of sitting on that for like 2 years. I didn't tell a lot of people about it because, I knew there was a possibility that it may not happen. I was mostly just telling, pretty close family and friends about it. And for 2 years I was kind of sitting on that, and then, turns out my scene was cut. Okay. And she was super nice about it. She was apologetic. She told me, go ahead and make a video like this one, kind of saying, okay, here's the scene where this character starts skinning this deer, and this is where you would have been, and yada, yada, yada. And I was like, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to make a video even talking about that, because, who's going to believe me, right? So I thought, maybe it's just as well. I just kind of let that go. It was a fun little thing, I got to have these phone conversations with this, Hollywood movie producer, and I did get paid, and so that was all pretty cool. And then the other day, one of my longtime viewers, Pekka from Finland, Pekka lives over in Finland, and he likes to comment on the videos, especially if the sauna's in it and stuff, And anyways, so Pekka leaves this comment on one of my, just like a crossbow video, and it just says, red right hand with a thumbs up emoji. And, sometimes Pekka will leave comments, and I don't fully understand them, because they got a little bit different lingo, and there's a little bit of a language barrier there. I've asked him before. He's made comments, and I've asked him before, what exactly does that mean, because it kind of maybe means something different in Finland than it does over here. So I was kind of like, well, does that mean like, hey, don't get your hand shot off by a crossbow? Or I really didn't know. So I asked Pekka to elaborate, like, hey, what do you mean when you say red right hand? And he's like, Knetters Practical Outdoors was, they thanked you in the credits at the end of the movie, red right hand. And I'm like, really? I really didn't even know that I was going to be in the credits, even though my scene had been cut. Okay? I've watched the movie. It's a very cool movie, by the way. Okay? I know I have a pretty good feel for you subscribers and you viewers out there. And I think you're going to like it. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I think you will like it. But just kind of out of the blue, Pekka tells me, hey, you're in the credits. And I was like, I'll be darned, you know, because I mean, I didn't like watch through to the end of the credits. I just assumed, hey, I'm not in the movie. I'm not going to be in the credits, right? Well, I went back, looked at it, and lo and behold, Knetters Practical Outdoors is in the credits of Red Right Hand. So that was pretty cool. So thank you, Pekka, for mentioning that to me. Really did kind of make my day that I at least got in the credits. And you know, Pekka, I want you to leave a comment in this video, and I want you to explain to me what made you watch all the way to the end of the credits. You know, because it's a ways into the credits before Knetters Practical Outdoors pops up. So Pekka, I want you to tell me what made you watch all the way through the end of the credits, and what the heck, how did you even notice that Knetters Practical Outdoors was listed under the thanks of the credits? Okay, so I know, Pekka, I know you watched the videos, so please, I think the viewers would like to know too, what possessed you to watch all the way through those credits, and you know, how did you even notice Knetters Practical Outdoors in there? So I thought that was pretty cool. Thank you, Pekka. Thank you for mentioning that, and you know, thank you for watching through to the end of the credits. So if you get a chance, check out the movie Red Right Hand, starring Orlando Bloom and Andy McDowell. Okay, I didn't mention that. Andy McDowell's in it, and you know, if you're around my age, right? Who wasn't in love with Andy McDowell back in the 80s? Okay. She actually plays a villain in this one. It's kind of interesting. But anyways, you get a chance to watch it. Check it out. I know you viewers. I know you'll like it. It's a cool movie. Watch all the way to the end to see the Knetters Practical Outdoors in the credits. So again, thank you, subscribers, and I hope you kind of enjoyed this video. Eat shark. Very good. So guys, if you're interested in more videos about getting out and enjoying the great outdoors of Michigan's Upper Peninsula, be sure to check out the entire channel. And if you enjoy what you see, please consider liking and subscribing. And for bonus content, be sure to check out our Patreon page. A link to this page can be found in the description of this video. And also, guys, remember to hunt, fish, laugh, repeat. Thanks for watching, and God bless.